Salutations to foes. This is your fabulous leader, the Queen of Shade, coming at you with another special presentation. This one means a lot to me because I first encountered this person through a repost by Conscious Lee. And, he always posts amazing people. And I saw this young lady and I just loved the knowledge that she was dropping. I loved everything she stood for. So I asked her to speak to me, and we're going to speak shortly because she's from somewhere, and I'm going to let her tell you where she's from in one moment. So let me get her name right. Without further ado, I would like to introduce you to Amahle, Amahle, right?
Amahle. Amahle.
Amahle Ntshinga.
Yeah.
It took me a minute, but oh my God. Hello, sweetie.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Amahle Ntshinga. Amahle Ntshinga. I tell you, I got to get these names right because it's such an honor to be speaking to you. Tell everybody where you're from.
Hi, I'm from South Africa, from Johannesburg. And my name is Amahle Ntshinga. I'm a social entrepreneur and activist, and I'm really happy to be here.
That's actually how I found you. Conscious Lee posted, what was it? He posted a clip of yours, and it was the first clip I'd ever seen of you. It was about, you saying that trans women and homosexuality existed in tribes long before we came to, America, or our ancestors came to America. And I was just like, isn't that some news? So I just from that moment, I started following you. So you recently won an award in Johannesburg. What was that award for?
Which one?
Which one? Did you hear it? Which one? This is why I did it, because I want them to know you're winning awards left and right. Okay, so this one we had to vote for, and you were in 2 categories. You don't even remember. Okay, well, she won some awards, y'all. A lot of them. So please expound. I'm not going to talk. I want you to talk. So tell me, where you're from, how long you've been an activist, and what the organizations are that you work with, and then we'll switch into what's your favorite food and all of that stuff.
So yeah, like I said, I'm from Johannesburg, South Africa, but I'm originally from the Eastern Cape, from the Xhosa tribe. And then, so I've been in activism for approaching 2 years now. And I care about all things that have to do with intersectional Black lives, but mainly with gender oppressed Black people. And in South Africa, we have one of the highest rates of gender-based violence in the whole world. So most of my activism is about gender-based violence. So yeah, it's just really about teaching people first what is gender-based violence. So many people don't know that stealthing is illegal and that's gender-based violence, sexual coercion. A lot of people still think it's like the Ted Bundy type of gender-based violence. And if you're not like Ted Bundy, then you're so amazing. And outside of that, it's also how do people enable gender-based violence? So even if you're not abusing people, there's certain things that all of us, and I've done it before too, so I'm not judging, because a few years ago, I was also enabling GBV. But all of us create a society where abusers are able to thrive because we also enable GBV, right? So those are the main things that I like to speak about. Outside of that, our main thing right now is that we want to implement effective anti-gender-based violence education in all South African schools. So in Kenya, they had an anti-GBV program where they taught 250,000 school children about gender-based violence and how you enable it and so forth. And that program really works in Kenya. For example, in the beginning of the program, 74% of the boys said that it's okay to sexually assault a woman if she's wearing a short skirt. I know, right? And then by the end of the program, only 9 months later, only 30% of the boys thought that that was okay. And then even in reports of sexual violence at the schools, it had decreased by 51% after 9 months. So that program really worked. And Kenya has less gender-based violence in South Africa. So I was like, why don't we do this in South Africa too, right? So now we're trying to get that type of program into South African schools, and we need people to sign the petition. So I've got a petition, the link in my bio, and And then, yeah, so I'm working with a whole bunch of different like community organizations and grassroots and also educators, so that once we do get the 100,000 signatures, we'll take it into Parliament and then we'll implement the actual program in all schools in South Africa.
Wow. See, you're not just doing a little bit of activism. You're doing a lot of activism. And, you know, some people may say, oh, well, that's a lot. I caught every word of that. You know, gender-based violence is something that, you know, it happens worldwide, but I did not know that, you know, South Africa had the highest. You know, I did not know that, you know, that was such a pandemic. It's a pandemic in itself.
It is.
It is.
That's what we always say. We say the real pandemic is gender-based violence, not even COVID. And more women have died from gender-based violence than from COVID. So yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie, Amahle, I was so worried because, like, you know, people would say to me, like when I was younger as a model, they would say, oh, come to Cape Town, come to Cape Town. You'll do well in Cape Town. And I'm like, oh, I ain't gonna come like this. I ain't gonna come like this. Look, but that, and that's the shame, and that's the thing, like that's the shame that I felt that way, that I felt that I almost unequivocally knew that if I showed up like this, I would be brutalized. And that is not okay. That is not okay. So your degrees, what are your degrees in again? Because I've read.
So I have my undergrad in fashion design and retail management, and then I have my postgrad in business management.
Right. Okay. So you started as a fashion designer and realized you could do a lot more than just, you know, make designs. And I just thank you for your contributions, because I see like it, and that's the thing, consciously is very big globally as well. And like, I want people to understand, I'm not just bringing you on, you are a phenom. And that is, so you are, because people like him and people like you're educating the rest of us. See, it's not okay. Why am I getting choked up? It's not okay. It's not okay for us to live in our little bubbles and act like this is not happening. I'm like trying not to cry because, you know, people are being brutalized. I myself have been brutalized in my life, and every person should have the right to be who they are. And then that's one thing. Every person should deserve to be in total safety based on the gender that they are. It should not mean that because you are a woman, you are, you know, you automatically are supposed to accept and expect that type of violence. Like this is really serious. So do you have, like, with the organizations that you're working with, I know you're busy. With the with the organizations that you're working with, do you even see gay men in your organizations, or is it just women?
No, they're gay men. Actually, it's so funny you say that. We always say that whenever you go to an anti-GBV protest or whatever, you'll just see the girls and the gays. It's always, So number one demographic will definitely be women, especially Black women. And then right after Black women, it's usually Black gay men. And then after Black gay men, you'll see white women. But those are usually the three demographics that we see even like with organizations or protests, any type of activism work. In South Africa, a lot of Black gay men are doing what needs to be done.
Wow. Have you ever come under scrutiny for the work that you do?
Oh, yes, all the time. But it's just part of the game, you know. I mean, most of the time it's just, you know, it really is just trolling. I mean, I've been called all kinds of things. Also, a lot of racial slurs, a lot of transphobic slurs.
How do you deal with that?
I just leave people blocked and blessed. In the beginning, it was really hard for me, but now I'm just so used to it. It really, like, immediately when I see it, I'll just take a screenshot just in case one day I might need it. But after taking my screenshots, I immediately block them, and then you just keep it moving.
You know what's so crazy? I do the same thing. I do the same thing because I never know when I'm going to need it in case it escalates. So I take a screenshot, I block them, and I file them. I have files of them because people are just so, like, you know, I wanted to talk to you because I think that, and I feel that you can relate, that people just are not allowed and should not be allowed to express these kinds of feelings just because they are men.
Yeah.
Or just because they're in a position of power. Please go ahead and say what you were saying.
Pardon?
I said, go ahead and say what you were saying. You looked away like, what?
Oh no, I was just with you.
Okay, no, I was saying that, just because you are a man or just because you're empowered does not mean that you have the right to oppress and brutalize and be mean to people that are your subordinates. Like, I find that to be so just disheartening. Here I am in America, and even myself, I'm planning to relocate to France because it's just so much more accepting of who I am. Like, and as far as the arts go, I too started in fashion. I wasn't a fashion designer, but I started as a model at 22. I'm 29. I got the chance to, 39. I'm not 29, I'm 39, 39. Yeah, 39.
Yeah.
So I got the opportunity to go to Paris, and the thing was, I did incur racism because of, yes, even the way I looked. Like, I had long braids, and I was very fit, but I was trying to get into fashion, and it was very hard. But I found that I didn't really like this, but it helped me in many cases. I had a situation happen where, for policemen, and in Europe, we don't have the kind of police they have there. Like, these police were walking around like the airport and different things like that with these big guns. I had never seen that before. That scared me. And I'm like, wow, you need this in Paris? And he's like, my friend said to me, yes, we do. And I'm just like, oh my God, it was a shell shock, me being an American, deciding to travel. And I see this, and I remember 4 policemen. I was walking to the train, and 4 policemen, just like, and they weren't my color, they were this color. And they got on the train with me and stood 2 in front of me and 2 in back of me. And they're just looking at me. And they're looking at me. And it was crazy because I'm very intuitive. I'm a shaman myself. So the way that they were looking at me wasn't necessarily with an angry eye. It had more of a sexual connotation to it. Yes, it had more of a sexual connotation to it. And what I did was I said, good morning, officers. Is there a prop? As soon as I did that, and they realized that I was American with this Yankee accent, they got off the train at the next stop.
Oh, really?
Yes, Amahle, yes. They got off the train at the next stop. Like, and I had never been in a situation like that. And I had never been, because usually, we're all upset, with our nation's history, but I had never been more thankful for being an American at that moment than ever before. So,
oh my
what are the ages that you see in your activism work? Like, the people that rally around you, are you getting like because I know in Africa, a lot of times, like when you guys want to teach love of the environment and things like that, you start with the children. The children understand, the environment and the animals need to be protected, they'll grow up and they'll protect them. So what age can someone get involved with this kind of gender-based violence, anti protest?
I think at any age, but usually it starts at about 19. So most of them will be like either in their first year of university or maybe in their last year of high school. There's quite a few Gen Zs at these protests, I have to say. But in regards to like the actual NGOs and grassroots organizations and whatever, usually the people there will be like upwards of 25, which makes sense because that's more like an organized thing. But I have to say, a lot of Gen Zs really do show up to these protests, and a lot of them are creating content online, and like content that actually helps, content that will include like, this is where you need to go to sign this complaint and send it to the mayor. This petition you need to send so that we can get this law passed, whatever. So it's not just about, for lack of a better term, complaining about misogyny. They will explain what these different misogynistic things are, and then also have a call to action that will actually entice change. So I must say, a lot of these Gen Zs are really doing well.
Yeah. Have you, has social media really helped you be able to get your point across?
Yes, it really has. I have to be honest with you. Also, like with this petition, we're trying to get signatures, and usually the way how we get the signatures is by social media. And then now that my platform is growing a little bit, people with bigger platforms, for example, Feminist, Goes Against Oppression, and so forth, they also would reshare the petition, and that's how we get a lot of signatures. So yeah, 100%. Having a bigger platform has definitely helped with this, with our actual social media work, because sometimes we need public support.
Yeah.
And if you have an audience already, it's easier to get public support.
Yeah, I agree. This is something. So can anyone from anywhere sign the petition?
Yes, anyone from anywhere would really appreciate it. The link is in my bio. It's
Yeah.
called the anti-GBV petition.
Okay.
I mean, teach anti-GBV education in all South African schools.
Yeah, I'm going to make sure I sign this, and I'm going to make sure I put all of the links underneath this video so that everybody can get involved, because, you know, long gone are the days where we say, oh, we're in America and Africa's over there. No, those days are gone. And we have social media to thank for that, because social media exists. Now you can country hop in 5 minutes, 10 minutes on your phone and literally see what's going on. I just want to say, before I segue, because I know you don't have much time, I just want to say, like, thank you for your work, and thank you for your social media presence, because I'm learning a lot through you. I'm learning a lot. Like, you know, me, I'm not transgendered. One of my friends calls me a trans illusionist. I always used to say, I used to say that I was a transvestite because I just like cross-dressing. I always did. Never had a desire to, you know, change my body or alter my body. I've never needed to alter my face. It's what my dad's face. It's, you know, so it works for me. But I really was so touched, moved, and inspired by all of the valid information that you give. And I believe, yes, and I believe that the conscious Lee, George Lee, I believe that he was as well, because when he shared you, like all of my neurons lit up. I was like, oh my God, who is this? Who is this? Oh my God. Like, because like the information was so real. It was so real. And I just want to say thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yes. So I just want to segue real quick so we can learn a little bit about you. What is your, are you using your fashion degree?
Not really. Also, but in all fairness, it was fashion and retail management. So I double majored. So the retail management part is more like how to run a small business. So, I mean, I have a business right now. It's called LUNTU, Conscious Shopping Made Easy. You can find us on www.luntu.co. That's LUNTU. So yeah, so that part of my degree I use every day. But my fashion degree, so we do sell some fashion items. Let me actually show you.
Yes, please do.
So for example, we'll have these bucket hats with like a matching summer fan.
Right.
But this is just like little pop-up stuff. It's not like our regular business. So like our regular business, so we sell all types of stuff. Like we sell music speakers and tampons, organic tampons.
Yeah.
Insect repellent, all different types of things, even spiritual items like in Beppo. We have this smudge stick in Beppo. So I'm kind of using it when we do these little fashion items, but to be honest with you, I mainly use the business side of my degree. Then, like I said, after I finished my undergrad, I went to business school and I got my postgrad in business management.
Yeah. You're a busy woman. You're a busy woman. Are your parents proud of you?
Yeah, it's so funny you say this. My mom actually came to my house this morning just for like an hour. Then I spoke to my dad on the phone yesterday, and they are really proud. Also, I was on TV the day before. It is Thursday. I was on TV on Monday. So they both saw me on TV. So me and my mom speaking about that. So yeah, they really are proud of me. But I'm hoping that next year's a better year. I'm not gonna lie, this year was a hard year for me. A lot of growth, a lot of career milestones met, but not without struggles. You know what I mean? You know, when you just feel like, can I just get a break? Even though you see yourself growing, wow, it's like so treacherous. A treacherous climb up the mountain, you know?
Yes.
So I'm just hoping that next year it's gonna be more with ease. And it's funny that you said the thing about the shaman, because I'm also very spiritual, and I feel like I've got a very deep connection with my ancestors. And I told them that like all the lessons I need to learn now need to come with ease. I'm tired of learning lessons the hard way. It's so exhausting.
Yes, I agree. No, I agree. I agree completely. It like, and yes, being a shaman, that's how I do my work. I even my social media platform and everything that I have, it's because I channel, like I hear, and even in my music, I have ancestors that have crossed over from my family, and they help me write music, and I hear melodies and all of those things. So yes, I definitely can understand. Like, yes, this year was very tough. Last year was even tougher for me, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
And I believe that it will get easier for both of us next year. So tell us, what's your favorite food? We may not know it, but you can tell us about it.
Oh, that's my favorite food. So I'd say in South Africa, we have this thing called seven colors. And
Okay.
it's like the thing you eat on Sunday after church. So it's just like reminds me of my childhood. But outside of, and it's just like rice, gravy, and a bunch of different sides, like potato salad, chakalaka, beetroot, like all these different things.
Yeah.
And then outside of that, I really like Ethiopian food actually. So I'd say Ethiopian food is my second favorite.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. What's your favorite color?
I actually don't have one, to be honest with you.
No, you don't have one.
No.
Do you find yourself wearing more colors? Because like I wore this today because I was like, I want to be blue. I want to be blue for her. I want to be blue. Blue is a good color. But like
It is.
my favorite color is black. I love black.
Oh, really? There
Hmm.
was a time black was also my favorite color, but yeah, I don't think I have one. But I wear sometimes I wear black, sometimes I wear a lot of colors like today. Today I'm wearing pink. I also like a purplish pink a lot.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. So what do you do for fun when you are not doing activism work? Because you're doing activism work all the time. So
Yeah, and my social entrepreneurship. So I have my business. LUNTU is what I do full time. Then my activism work is like my passion projects. And outside of that, then it's social media. But in terms of having fun, to be honest with you, when I have free time, I usually will take like a spiritual bath or do some type of meditation and so forth. But I also really like traveling, but that's been hard now with COVID. But pre-COVID days, I used to travel a lot. And then I like making food. So sometimes my friends will come over and I'll make dinner for them.
Nice. Where are some of the places you've traveled to? Have you been to the US?
Yes, I've been to the US many, many, many times. And when I was very little, I used to live there in Maryland,
Okay.
close to DC. Yeah.
Wow. And what made you go back?
So my auntie lives there. So after we left Jamaica when I was like 7, when we lived there. And then after 7, my auntie lived there. So I'd go visit her like at least every 2 years or something. And then I had a lot of friends who lived in the States too. So I would visit my friends when I was in high school. And then recently, when I still used to work my corporate job, I had a project that was based out of LA. So I used to be a consultant. So I'd have to go to LA regularly because of this project.
Okay.
And then also that very same corporate job, our training site was in Chicago. So for training, I had to go to Chicago. So yeah.
Wow. So you really are. You just flying back and forth here. But that's good though, because then you're able to take your messages abroad. Okay, so I know I gotta let you go. So please I'm gonna put them all in the links underneath this video, but please tell everyone where they can find you on social media, TikTok, etc.
So across all social media platforms, my handle is Amahle Ntshinga. So that's AMAHLENTSHINGA. No dots, no underscore, just one word. And then if you want to check out my business, my website is called www.luntu.co, and that's LUNTU. And yeah, that's where you can find me. I'm most active on Instagram and TikTok. Then I also have LinkedIn, but I'm not that active on LinkedIn.
Right. Thank you so much for being with us. And
Thank you for having me.
I just want to say to Consciously, thank you for exposing me to such a wonderful, remarkable human being. So yes, please, what time is it there?
It's 3:30 in the afternoon.
Okay, yeah, it's 8:25 here. So I got up at 5 because I wanted to make sure I was ready. Like, yeah, because time zones, but that's fine. Like, it wasn't your fault. I just like to get up early and make sure everything is the way that it is, and you can meditate and you can prepare, and that's what I was doing. So I thank you so much for taking the opportunity to speak with me. One more thing, if you had 3 words that you could say to the world or to us that you feel would be inspirational words, what would they be? It doesn't even have to be a word. It could be a saying too.
Forgive yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's a big one. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for coming and speaking with me, and get back to your activism work, because that's why I can't keep you too long. You got stuff to do. So thank you so much.
Cheers. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.
You too, bye.